Hey there, it's Dr. Alfie here. I'm going to demonstrate to you 3 exercises to rehabilitate the rotator cuff using a simple resistance band. We're going to be doing 3 exercises which we call 1, the backhand, 2, the arm wrestle, and 3, the takeaway. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Pay attention. For all 3 exercises, you'll need a length of resistance band. And this one here is 1 meter, and it is the lightest one, that's why it's yellow. And what you do is you put a knot at the end of it in order to wedge it between the door frame. So what you do is you open up the door and you deftly manipulate it so that it actually it's stuck. It's stuck that way, okay, but it actually shouldn't be there. It should be in a proper place. Let's try that again. Okay, so what you do is you whack it in there and you let it stick in that position. And the first exercise we're going to do is the backhand. So this is an easy way to do it. Feet slightly apart, grab your resistance band and put your thumb over the under the line. And what you do is you stand square and you do a backhand. And what we're trying to do here, it may feel light, it might feel easy, but the important part is the movement is a rotatory movement, as if you're doing an actual backhand. You want to keep your elbow close to your torso and your shoulders being quiet and your neck being quiet. Now, if you have a deficit or a weakness in this muscle, you'll notice that after a few goes, you'll start noticing the tension developing in your shoulder. And you just do this nice and gently. And the resistance band provides resistance both return and away, which means that you're working the muscles in both directions. And you would do this about 10 to 12 times, or as long as it actually fatigues the muscle. Let's go into that. So our second exercise is the arm wrestle movement, which is going to target the teres minor muscle. So that's again part of the rotator cuff. And what you do is you get your resistance band length, and this time around you want to wedge it up higher above your shoulder or around about your shoulder length. So what you want to do is you want to do that. It's a bit tricky. So you want to do this, okay? And then you just wedge it in through there. So that's really the first part of it. It's a game of skill, all right? So you wedge it over there. And the movement is essentially, as I say, is an arm wrestle movement, okay? And what you want to do is basically just demonstrating it there. You want to keep your elbow 90 degrees from your torso, your hand or your forearm 90 degrees from your arm. And you want to do a rotatory movement. So if I demonstrate that with the resistance band, what you want to do is you want to grab your resistance band in this fashion so that the end is actually on the thumb end of it, unlike that of this movement. You'd want to do that. And you'd want to do a arm wrestle movement like this, okay? And the key here is to keep the elbow in one position. Okay, I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. As you can see, I'm trying to keep my elbow in that one spot. And I can even guide it myself by keeping some fingers on my elbow so that I know, or I can monitor how much movement it is. And if it does move, I can see my other arm moving along with it. So what you want to do is you want to keep that elbow moving in that motion. And similarly, for those people who do have weakness in this muscle, you will feel it in this region here, okay? The teres minor. And you'd want to do 10 to 12 repetitions of it. Nice and gentle. We're not building huge muscle here. We're building stamina and endurance for these muscles to be able to do the work for a whole day, or to actually function the whole day. So for our third exercise, we're going to do what we call the takeaway. And what it's going to do is going to target the supraspinatus muscle, which is one of the most important muscles in moving and supporting and stabilizing the shoulder joint. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our resistance band down so that it's level with our waist or our hips. And when that happens, what you can actually do is like by having our hands out like this. And so the movement is going to be in this fashion. Okay? And what it's going to do, so we're not going to use, and for those people who are familiar with the lateral deltoid raise, it's not going to be all the way up here. It's just going to be the first 15 to 25 degrees of movement. And what you want to do is you want to start your hand closer to the midline of your body so that you got some tension in there to begin the movement in the first place. And what you want to do, again, the band goes into your thumb region and you pull it across from you. And what you do is you stay upright, keep the shoulders back and down, and you activate the shoulder. So you should feel it up here, not so much on the deltoid muscle. So you'd want to take your arm and hand away, maintaining the straightness of your arm, and you take it away. And again, doing it slowly and deliberately. So one repetition is bringing it out and then bringing it back slowly. Bring it out and bring it back slowly. Okay, so 10 to 12 repetitions. You can take a break. If it feels like it's going to, you're going to start changing your form, and form is very important. If you feel like you're starting to move your shoulders out, if you're starting to feel fatigued in the shoulder, if you're starting to become noisy in terms of your movement, then you need to stop and rest. Because that will just ensure that you get to reset again and bring your arms and return back to that proper function, that proper form in order to do the exercise properly. So there you have it. You have those 3 exercises: the backhand, the arm wrestle, and the takeaway, to address the 3 muscles that are associated with the rotator cuff muscle. Now, keep in mind the points. Make sure that you're doing it properly. Form is better than function. Number 2 is that we are trying to build endurance and stamina for the muscle so it can actually work properly the whole day and not necessarily strength, which means that it can be very, very light. It's not about ego. And number 3, done repetitively, it can help to improve and rehabilitate those shoulder muscles in order for you to return to proper work. So if you have any questions or any concerns, please let us know. Message us on using a comment, or you can use Facebook. You can like and follow us or subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.